Well, we're back, guys. We survived the night of the demons. Dustin, your
Or was it
thoughts?
the Night of the Dead? They turned into zombies again, just like Demon Wind.
I would also argue and say it was the night of the. I would also argue and say that it was the night of the doors. Yeah, I would call it the night of the doors because the doors.
I'd argue that, yeah, I'd argue that doors were more of a threat than these zombie demons,
Yeah, yeah,
especially from Stu.
yeah. Stu really didn't uh, ever. Well, you did mention that he did conquer his fear of doors at the
And it
end,
backfired.
just to get literally backfired. Doo-doo-doo.
So let that be a lesson, kids. Never succumb to your fear. Never try to overcome it. Stay hidden. Stay safe, because you saw what happened to poor Stu. He got lit on fire. So don't do it.
Yeah. So going with the other characters in this movie, we have. I'm just gonna call her. I've been calling her Linnea Quigley the whole show. I'm gonna just keep calling her Linnea Quigley. So
Why not?
yeah. What was her name?
Linnea Quigley.
Yeah, Linnea. Okay. So Linnea, uh, the takeaway is the lipstick and the boob. I mean,
Yeah, I was warned about that, and nothing could have prepared me for it. I was warned a week in advance about this, and I was like, lipstick in the boob? What are you talking about? Just watch it happen. I watched it happen, and I still don't understand it. Like, even in context, like, what, the demon was by himself at that point. Who are you trying to, like, what were you doing? Like, what was your deal with that? Like, look what I can do. But
I,
nobody was there.
maybe the demon was trying to figure out their powers. Like, oh, what else can I do with this cool power?
Lipstick, titty, eh.
Yeah. And then you have Angela, who is the she becomes the main demon. It was at one point Linnea, but Linnea passed the torch over to Angela and let
Passed it
Angela
on.
become the main demon lady. And all she really does is walks around the house like the Bride of Frankenstein and
Going from
grin
room to
at
room.
people. Yeah, bites. She took out Stu's tongue. She bit his tongue out. Um,
Or Stu.
yeah, maybe they should have said, "Stu, you talk too much" earlier. Maybe they did, and I missed it. And then that was them, you know, cashing in on the fact that Stu talks too much. Um, but yeah, nobody really likes Stu. Stu was. I don't understand why anybody's friends with Stu.
I don't understand why anybody was friends with anyone in this movie. Like,
Other
no
than
one had a
Roger.
chemistry.
Other
No
than
one had
Roger.
chemistry together. They act like they were annoyed with each other before anything ever went down. Then when everything escalated, they really despised each other. It's like, how did you guys form? Were you like at the food court at Long John Silver, and he's like, hey, you want to be buddies? Sure, why not? We got nothing else going on.
And then you have Sal, who is who's clearly Italian, clearly from New York, and just I don't know what brought him to this suburban community. And
Yeah,
but not only is he Italian, he's like stereotypically like '60s Italian. Like how
yeah.
how how are you still like how are you still a greaser?
Late
Like
50s, 60s Italian set in modern day 80s. Like, how does that work?
I thought he was gonna pull out a switchblade comb and do this thing.
I so wish you would have.
That'd been great. Um, and then you have the Asian girl who I have no idea. She's in there to die. She brought nothing to the story. Neither did the doctor guy. He brought nothing to the story.
A
Or
lot of
the
people didn't bring anything to the story.
yeah.
Is there? Was there even a story?
What is the story? So this movie is a movie I always loved growing up, but looking at it and riffing it with you today, Dustin, I come to the conclusion that this is a very terrible movie. It's a very terrible movie.
That's what happens. You things you thought were great when you were younger, when you watch them back when you're older. What that? Nope. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah. But honestly, the best thing about this movie is Roger.
Yes,
Roger is the saving grace of this film.
he
Uh, the,
stole it.
yeah, he would like run. I love how he'll leave everybody. He literally left the girl right there, and at the end of the movie, he's like, "Hell no!" And he
I,
jumped out the window.
I love he jumped out the window like, man, F this. Boom.
He said,
He did
"Not
what I
me."
would do.
He said, I think he actually says right then, they like, "We're gonna get you" or something like that. And Roger
Oh, yeah.
says, "Yeah, not me, not me."
He is what everybody would actually do in this situation, and no one would ever own up to it and admit that's them because they act like, oh, I'm a hero. I would save everybody. No, you wouldn't. You would take off. You would say, screw it. Screw all of you. You wouldn't do nothing.
The only thing that Roger did that was out of character that I feel like Roger wouldn't have done is save Judy at the end. Because if Judy wouldn't have
Yeah.
climbed up and Roger
No.
made it over, I think Roger would have just been down the street like, man, hey.
He would have done been on a bus somewhere headed to Washington or Detroit. He's not saving
He's
her.
like, he's like, man. And then like they asked him, Roger, how was your night? He's like, what night? I was in my
I
room
don't
the
know.
whole night. I don't know what you're talking about.
He has no conscience. No, he's not saving nobody.
Yeah, Roger and Judy. I'm like, Roger, Roger, help me, Roger. Roger's like, why? Why would I help you?
Nope.
I don't want to be here.
I would like to see another, like a Halloween H2O version of a sequel for this, and it's Roger, however many years later, 20 years, 40 years later, and how's life been afterwards? Did he develop any issues from this? I want more of his story.
That's an interesting concept. I would love to see Roger, the character of Roger, planted into our other stuff like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday 13th. But I want it to be Roger. I want Roger to come across uh, uh, Laurie Strode and be like, "Hell no, woman, you better leave that man alone. He crazy." You know, I
I've
want
been through
that.
this before.
That's what I want. I want him to be like, Nightmare on Elm Street. Nah, I ain't going to sleep nowhere in this town. Gotta go.
Gets on the bus, gets out. He's always got a bus ticket.
He goes across. He comes across Camp Crystal Lake. And they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna head up here. We're gonna go be counselors." He's like, you can counsel that, counselors. Hell no, I'm out.
Nope.
Not in this. I've seen this movie. I've been through this. I
He has
actually,
seen some shit.
I survived Nightmare on Night of the Living Dead as well. Because Night of Demons is pretty much Night of the Living Dead, but with demons.
Yeah, I'm noticing that's a common theme. Like the zombie. See, I'm even getting confused with it. The demon movies are literally Night of the Living Dead, just doing it with demons. Like they're in a house and the demons are coming and they're walking like zombies.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that they don't. I think that they just don't know how to handle the subgenre of demons, and they just lump it into the Living Dead, which you can't do that. Like there's possession movies, like Exorcist and things like that, and so you know how to deal and handle demon possession movies or devil possession movies, but you
Yeah.
don't know how to handle demons, like just demon themed films, like where the demons gotta interact with other people because they treat them like zombies and they're
Yeah.
not zombies. So that's why this subgenre didn't go anywhere. I think it died with
Yeah.
the Night of the Demons movies
You
and
see why
Demon Wind.
slashers reigned supreme for so long because they didn't really understand how to handle any other property.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, honestly, can you think of any modern, like within the last several years, demon films that follow the course of demon? Not like um, Paranormal Activity, because they took demon possession into a different realm of the exorcist type of possessions. They took it like that. So how do you can you think of any films that follow the demon trope? I can't.
No, because it's like I said, it's usually possession. It's it's not really anything like unless Freddy Krueger would count. He's a demon of some sort,
Yeah, but
but
he's
it's still slasher. It's not the same.
yeah, absolutely. Hellraiser is the slasher. It just doesn't follow that same uh it doesn't follow, like they don't know what to do with demons. I guess that's why they're like, all right, let's forfeit this and take demons back to being just like possessions, like exorcists and stuff. That's what they do with demons. They don't know.
Like Annabelle, that's a demon, but it's uses the doll as a vessel and So that's probably one I would consider being the one that's a demon, because that's a demon.
Yeah. And so yeah, exactly. So that's what they do, but it doesn't use it like the Living Dead.
No,
It doesn't use it like zombies. So
no.
yeah, that's why this movie's terrible. The more I think about it, the more I think it's terrible.
After watching it, I'm shocked that NECA made any figures for it. I'm like, this isn't a gem. This isn't a forgotten gem. This is bad.
I wonder why they didn't make figures for Demon Wind. I mean, that would have been
Yeah.
better.
I must say, I probably would have bought some of those. I'd have bought the guy with the sword.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd have put
The demon walking with a sword like for no reason. Yes,
I
buy
would have
that.
put the demon with the sword and set him next to the guy from the fog that they made.
Absolutely.
'Cause they got swords. So
I think that I'm glad that we're finished with the demons. Next time we'll be riffing Killing Spree. I don't think it's demons, but I don't know. I
you
never
never
seen
know.
it. I don't
They
know.
might pop in there.
They
They
might
may be
pop in.
zombies disguised as demons.
Who knew that Demon Wind would make another comeback in this episode? Because
Exactly.
yeah.
Demon Wind, I sadly feel is going to live on with us forever. I that unsettles me.
Speaking of unsettling, as Dustin mentioned earlier on the Mark Out Movie Podcast website, we will be doing another riffing of Trolls 2 because it deserves our full attention.
Yeah, I lost visual for 15 minutes, but aside from that, Aaron watched a doc right afterwards and found out a lot of information that we had no idea about. We didn't know about its phenomenon, its cult status, like the way it's treated and like truly beloved. I watched 30 something minutes of it. I've got to finish that doc before we do this again. I'm just blown away by this. I mean, people treat it like Ryan E. Kemp treated Ghostbusters, and that baffles me. It's not, I mean, I get guilty pleasures and terrible cinema, but that's a bad movie. I don't know. There's people that live by it. Like it's their Wizard of Oz or their Jaws or something. Like, or for me and you, it's their Halloween. Like, what is wrong with you people? I'm sorry, no offense, but I want to understand.
Yeah, it's like how
It's a bad movie.
no, it's like how Ben from Parks and Rec doesn't get the love of Lil Sebastian. It's like that. Like he
bye,
like
bye, little Sebastian.
Yeah, he.
It's the only time Ron Swanson shows any care or feelings. I've only cried 2 times in my life. The first, when I was hit by a bus when I was 7. The second, when I was given the news that little Sebastian had passed.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good. Hey, that's a really good Ron Swanson.
Thank you.
Really good Ron Swanson.
Wait, completely off topic, but did you watch the Parks and Rec special from Thursday night?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I got misty-eyed.
I loved it. It was so well done.
I teared up. I'm not kidding you. I'm not joshing you.
Did you see when they started singing Little Sebastian? Did you see Ron Swanson like tearing up over there and like and everybody be quiet and let the man sing his song? And he was like emotional. It's the only time he's ever emotional. It's the only thing he cares about.
I love the cameos they had in it. I love that we got to see everyone. I love that even Tammy too pops up.
Oh yeah,
in there.
Yeah, she took off and said, "I think she got out." Oh, she get out with the wolves? Well, to be quite frank, I'm more concerned about the wolves.
Yeah. Your screen kind of froze up on you, but that's okay.
Oh.
You froze up.
I missed my.
Yeah, your face is frozen.
Wait, I'm doing the Ninth Rock right now. What is love? Baby, don't hurt. Oh, I can't finish that song. We're not allowed to sing it.
Now you're smiling. There you go. All right, but we'll go ahead and just in case it freezes up, that's great. We'll go ahead and end this. But no, I want to talk about real quick. Yeah, I absolutely loved the Parks and Recreation reunion episode. I love seeing everybody, even Jerry, Gary.
I love how everybody was still annoyed with Gary. Like when Leslie got Gary on the phone by accident. Oh, F Gary! They wanted Ron Swanson to call Gary. I'm not calling Gary.
Yeah,
Everybody's still
loved it. I love seeing every John Raphael. Just like seeing everyone. It was like great.
It gave me the thought, like, what if like Seinfeld could do that? Like, that would be funny. Just see that environment for Seinfeld, this current pandemic.
The only one they didn't bring back, and I wish they would have brought back, was the douche. I wish we had like a spot for the douche. The douche.
Yeah.
It would have been great. But I loved it. It was great. Also, Patton Oswalt. We should have seen him. Like, I love Parks and Recreation. Dare I say, and I say this freely. If I catch flack, I apologize to everybody else. But I like Parks and Rec over The Office. It's just who I am.
Well, Parks and Rec was my show the whole time. It was my number one. Like, it started in 2009, and the first season was okay. It wasn't like great by any means. I enjoyed it. I was entertained by it. I was like, it's a show that's gonna have to find what it wants to be and who it wants to be. Because at that point, it just felt like The Office in another setting, which some of the Office people were creatively doing it. So that's why. But season 2, it came into its own and really took off. And I was like, this is what the show is. And it was off like gangbusters, and it hit its stride. And then, like, when Michael Scott left The Office, that was around season 3 of Parks and Rec. That's when Parks and Rec officially became my show, and that was my favorite show on the whole time of its tenure. And it had a beautiful last episode. It had a really good finish. That special Thursday night just reminded me how much I love the show and how much I miss the show and how much I love that cast. That's a strong cast, and everybody holds their own and brings something different to the table. And I love it. I agree with it. It's a great show.
And the way that they did this episode, listen, totally, we're not even talking
Sorry,
about
Night of the Demons.
Yeah.
Sorry, but we got on Parks and Rec.
But I love how in this episode that they were able to still conclude it, like the conclusion of the series initially still is the conclusion of the series.
Yeah.
This takes place within the time frame of them getting to the end of the series. Like, just this blip in time, they had to deal with the coronavirus.
Yeah, and so now that's the last episode.
Yeah.
So we got a new last episode.
Yeah, it was great, man. And
so Jerry Seinfeld, why can't you make a new last episode? Because your last episode was terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't the strongest last episode. Seinfeld was not. Friends wasn't the strongest last episode. I think that Parks and Rec ended really well. I think The Office ended pretty well.
Yeah,
but but what we do in the shadows is the best show I got on right now, in my opinion. But that's a different episode. It's a different episode.
Yes.
But
stay back for later.
Back real quick, Night of Demons. What's your final thoughts, Dustin?
Well, God bless them. They tried to make a demon picture. Somewhere along the way, they made a zombie picture, and Roger he zoned out as soon as they started shooting, and I feel like the director just used that. That was actually him in the car and everything he was doing. That's how he was really acting. He really didn't want to be there, and the director was like, "Get back in here, man." Nah, I don't want no part of it.
I think Roger is probably not even an actor. I think that friends fake sent him over to like this party. And like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a good time, and he gets there and demon stuff happens, and this is Roger's reaction the whole time. He's like, "No."
This is a documentary of Roger.
It's what it is. Man, I don't know if the actor's still living. I'm not sure. I love to be his friend on Facebook.
Look him up.
And just say, man, thank you for being like Roger is probably one of my favorite characters in the movie.
Yeah. If not for him, it'd have been a true stinker. He really saves it.
He really does. But that's all I got. Anything else you want to tell the people, Dustin?
I think there may be a sale at Penny's coming up. Maybe I think it's a buy two get one free deal on maybe socks. If you want to go check it out when they open, by all means. Shameless plug.
Yeah, I gotta say this real quick. Be safe, people. Wash your hands, social distance. all that stuff. Hopefully, one day we get back to normal. I don't know if movie theaters will be a thing when we get there. these
Yeah,
idiots, these idiots. But
I feel like if there's any normal coming, it's not coming till 2022 from what it's looking like. And the movie theater business, that's, oh God, who knows? That's just
uh, yeah, before we
all
leave,
kinds of.
yeah, before we leave, definitely. I want to share this real quick. My thoughts on the movie theater experience. That uh, I think that they will. I think I can see them not like I can understand why Universal wants to release stuff on PVOD. I understand that because they can get more of the money and don't
Yeah,
have to cut somebody else a check. They can get more of the profits. And I can understand why the movie theaters responding like, no, because you're messing us up. But ultimately, uh, I think this could good to release it on both platforms or both ways because you're gonna have some people after this whole coronavirus like, man, I just rather not be in theaters with people. And plus, you can sit home and watch the movie with your own popcorn and all that stuff, and it's gonna be cheaper than doing it at the movie theater. Although some movies you just want to experience with people, like you want to experience
yeah,
Halloween Kills with people.
yeah.
Yeah,
See, there's people that go all the time. I'm not one of them. I will never be one of them again. But when it comes to like big movies, big franchises, big blockbusters, I want to see them on the big screen. Everything else, it doesn't really matter to me. I could do VOD on those, wait for TV, buy. But like Halloween Kills, any Marvel cinematic film, any Jurassic World, anything big has to be seen on the big screen. And that's, I think, no matter what, those will be there on the big screen. Uh, but everything else, it may not. Everything else could go streaming. But like the budgets are so big for the blockbusters, I don't think they'll make enough money for that. I mean, they're saying Trolls did so fantastic in 3 months, but Trolls didn't have the budget that some of these have. So we'll have to see. The world's changing, and the movie business is going to have to change in theaters. And this whole we're not going to show movies anymore, taking a stand. That we don't need that kind of nonsense. We don't need that negativity. That's not the answer. I get they're trying to prove a point. They're trying to take a stand, but at the same time, it backfires because what if every movie out currently is Universal or like majority that are out? Like, what are you going to do, movie theater? What are you going to do, Regal, AMC? What is your
yeah,
plan? You're not going to have any movies? I mean, you're
yeah,
not making money.
yeah.
AMC
That's
is in like debt and going to go bankrupt. You have to make money to stay in business. If you don't show the movies, you're not making money. So I just don't feel like no one on that board meeting was really thinking. They're acting without thinking, and it's gonna.
they're acting like Vince McMahon.
Yes,
They're acting
very
like
good
a
now. Yes,
yeah. But
yes, absolutely.
I think that honestly it could backfire. Like what you can get is people. For instance, what if Disney jumps in with Universal? Then you're
Yeah.
screwed because
Oh yeah.
Disney says, okay, yeah, well,
Don't mess with Disney.
we have our own platform we can release it on. Also, we can stream it out like to Amazon Prime or places like that, VOD, and people can rent it there and get it. Disney won't take a hurting because then the movie theaters are like, oh well, dang, what are we gonna do? And then like, what if Netflix jump in there and be like, hey, how about I just pay you all to release your movie on this platform,
Yep.
and then it could be just on Netflix or Hulu or wherever else. You know what I'm saying?
And
Then
Netflix has the money to do that. So
yeah, absolutely. And so what are you gonna do when you say, oh well, no, we're not gonna show these movies? You're also hurting yourself because people want to come to the theater to see Fast and Furious. There's people that will
well,
want to do that.
I don't. I
Yeah,
wish that would stop.
but you know that they do.
But
There
that
is
yeah, they
people.
will.
Yeah, there's people
People will
that
go see it.
and then Jurassic World. I'm one of those that will want to see Jurassic World because I love the Jurassic series, and then you have obviously me and you are fanboys of Halloween. I gotta see
Yeah.
that in theaters, or
That
if it's not and they do it on demand, that's one of the ones I will rent for $20 because I gotta show love to my series, man.
as soon as that happened, I told you immediately. I think I DM'd you like instantly, and I was like, I read it. I was like, well, that ain't right. And then I realized, like, wait, Halloween is Universal, and I got pissed. if anybody out there's following me on Facebook, you see how pissed I've been in the last week or so. I have been going on a rant. I will go to Washington and I will pull a camp with Ghostbusters and I will stop this crap. That's
Hey,
bull.
hey, Dustin is not exaggerating. He literally first told me, like, we was talking about the whole, uh, you know, Universal and AMC thing, and then eventually he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, wait a minute! I just realized Halloween is Universal. This affects. Oh, now this is personal. This is personal.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
was
it's like
pissed.
it's like somebody slapped his mom or something. It's like, oh no, no, hell no, this ain't happening.
Halloween is family to me. That means the world to me. Michael Myers is my homeboy.
Yeah, like, I mean,
Or as Lanslow says on Walking Dead, on What We Do in the Shadow, he's my good time boy.
that's right. He Halloween is for us in Kentucky, especially Bowling Green area. It is our franchise, you know, because it has our town names in it. It has streets names in it because it is us. John is us. John Carpenter
You
is.
go to Russellville, Kentucky, and you go through the subdivisions where the houses are and everything. Oh, it looks like Haddonfield, especially in the fall with the leaves. Every time I see it, I was like, man, this is Haddonfield.
Yeah, and he mentions like something like John Carpenter. I know he doesn't speak publicly like he really loves Kentucky, but
Oh,
but for him to hate us, he loves us because he used a lot of us. Although, you know, I mean, I still got nothing but love for John Carpenter. But yeah, I just want to talk about that briefly. Clearly, we're not talking about Night of the Demons,
we got
but
really sidetracked today, big time. I blame myself.
that's all right. I might edit this, and it'll be like a subsequent after the riff episode.
It's a riff after dark. That's what it is.
Yeah, here you go. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give you my marks for this movie, Night of the Demons. I'm gonna give it two markouts out of five because the movie,
That's
uh,
fair.
the movie was not terrible, but the only redeeming quality is Roger. After that, like I seen
And
this time.
maybe Quigley's Peep Show.
There you go. What do
That's
you give
fun.
it?
I'm around where you are at. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah,
It's not good at all, but it's fun to watch. There really is no bad horror movie, especially in the '80s, because they're just having fun. It's like Tom Atkins said, the fun is gone. You don't
yeah,
see that today. Even if
yeah,
it's terrible, it's still fun and entertaining.
absolutely. But all right, well, this concludes this episode of Mark Out Riffers. Uh, I am Aaron Whitlow.
I am Dustin.
And Dustin, what do you always say to the people?
I say to you, now and forever, thanks for riffing with us.
Thank you.
You wanted me.